This week's guest lecture was very interesting, and I thought that it was inspiring to see that Mr. Minley started the M Project in order to use emotional AI to identify those who are at risk or help those who are struggling with their mental health, especially because nowadays suicide rates are extremely high, and this can be prevented if people or even emotional AI can help those who are struggling before it's too late. Another thing he mentioned in class, which I thought was true, was that it's important for AI to not only focus on muscles that are involved with facial movement, because people can fake their emotions. So if emotional AI was only based off of muscle movements, then I think it defeats the purpose of trying to identify those who are in despair or those who are in need of help, because many of them fake their outward expressions in order to show that they're okay.
One of the main goals in the healthcare and informatics field today is to create a software or program that can automatically and efficiently aid physicians with patients. Now, what I found disturbing in the article titled Healthcare Prediction Algorithm Bias Against Black Patients, studies find that the software used to overcome racial, social, economic, and gender biases is now starting to lean towards those biases and follow them. Now, this affects who does and doesn't gain coverage. The point of the software was to overcome the human biases that our society sadly intertwined into our everyday thinking, into some people, but now it seems like the software used to create and this starting to follow as well. But on a more happier note, the algorithm was able to be tweaked and edited to eliminate much of the biases present. But this is also very important to learn from, because in the informatics field, we're getting more complex and computerized, and if we don't do regular checks and scan our software and programs for biases or unfair outcomes, then many people could be affected.
Crowdsourcing data is a way to receive a large variety of data, especially by online means. The example the article gives is crowdsourced labeling. This is important because different kinds of people can assign things to different categories based on their own cognition. Despite the loss in accuracy when compared to gathering labeling data from experts, crowdsourcing labeling can give a more accurate representation of the general population. This can be applied in many ways, as not only is compliance still needed for crowdsourcing, but also it removes confirmation bias. Since some data can be analyzed by experts who can assist greatly in utilizing the data for specific needs, crowdsourcing it with the population who doesn't know the goal of the project can be more accurate. There have been other applications of crowdsourcing data in informatics. Social media, for example, is a way to crowdsource data, with or without the user's consent. Data from tweets can help indicate certain personalities and emotions to see the average user base from Twitter, for example, or data from tweets on Black Friday shopping could indicate what shoppers typically look for to be on sale for marketing purposes. There are many applications of crowdsourcing data that can help in many different aspects, and the article demonstrating crowdsourcing labeling is a start.
There are several challenges of crowdsourcing. First is the different skill sets and motivation. The workers, especially the ones in charge of the beginning steps of the crowdsourcing process, all have various expertise and devotion, since this step does not require any special expertise and commitment. This is essential because this may lead to inconsistent algorithms. Next is the open nature of crowdsourcing, which creates difficulty since there is no full disclosure of information available on the past labelers. Next is the difficulty in quality control because we're only able to make improvements after data is collected and not during the process. However, people are constantly trying to come up with new strategies to improve the quality even during the process, such as creating checkpoints throughout the process. Another challenge is the biased labeling, which results from different thought processes of the labeler. Lastly, spam and oppositions are both destructive to the data as well, since they both supply inaccurate data in different ways.